Star Citizen combat, or so-called ground combat video. This is going to be more of an overview on how to get started, not so much an in-depth tutorial. So another reason why I believe Olisar is a much better place to spawn for new players than ArcCorp is it's a lot easier to find live fire weapons. So just to show the map, which is where I went in the first place, if you spawn on ArcCorp, you want to come all the way over here to Crusader and go to Olisar. And this is a store inside of the C Wing, and these are inside of all of the wings, A, B, C, and D. And I think live fire weapons is in the same spot in all of them, near 0 to 04 hangar exit. So anyway, just look for the sign. I already wasted 40 seconds explaining where the shop was. And here are the guns. You can find these guns on ArcCorp too, so if you see the gun shop, you can just go there and buy some. So this is the one I'm going to be using, the P4 AR ballistic rifle. It's 3,500 credits. That's not a big deal. I think you spawn with like 10,000, so buy it. There's an SMG here, there's a sniper, there's a shotgun, and then more SMGs and more shotguns, and not really many very rifles for some strange reason. They added attachments recently, so there's a laser sight, there's a like a holographic sight, and I can't highlight over that one, so get those if you wish. Once you're done with that, you want to come to the screen, and you want to click on weapons, and you want to go under attachment and scroll down until you find the P4 AR magazines, because you only get about 30 rounds of ammo. So you're going to want to buy extra bags, and they're not very expensive, only 11 credits, so buy a bunch, okay? I can apparently buy 8 here. While you're also here, you'll want to buy yourself some medipens, and I recommend buying as many of these as you can at a time anyway, just because they're not too expensive, and sometimes they're out of stock. I don't really know why, but if they are out of stock, just go to a different part of Olisar, go to A, B, or C, or whatever part you're not in, and you should be good to go. Now you have to actually equip the weapon, so push F1 or F2, head on over toward your equipment manager down here at the bottom, and you'll want to click on weapons. So your primary will by default probably be your pistol. You'll want to make it your P4 AR, so you'll just double click that. I've already got mine equipped, so I'm not going to do it. You'll double click it, and then you want to make sure you save changes. Be sure to scroll down. Here you will see spare weapon magazines. You'll want to equip your P4 AR magazine so you have extra ammo. I have 6 slots on me because I have armor. The default armor suit that you're given, the undersuit, will not let you holy cow, will not let you wear more than I think 1 or 2 magazines. You also want to come on over toward utility, and same with the consumable. We're going to make this a medipen. So I'll add one there. So both of my consumable medicals are medipens. Oxypens are good, but oxygen lasts so dang long, I've never in my life used one. If you want better armor, you can come over here to the defense stores. These are almost the same across the Stanton system right now, the whole star system. They're pretty much all the same. So just go for like that armor or that armor. Keep in mind, if you buy armor, you have to buy them in pieces. So the helmet and the armor itself, and then the gloves, and then the pants, and the undersuit are all separate pieces. It'll cost you close to 10,000 credits to buy this set, which is the one I'm using. And the only real difference I can tell currently, this will probably change in the future, the only thing armor does is reduce your damage taken. So this armor here, this helmet reduces, okay, this one right here, the one I'm wearing, reduces damage by 30%. And so does my torso, reduces it by 30, and also 30. So you don't actually need to buy a helmet, I believe. Maybe not. I thought that the default helmet reduced your damage by 30%, but you can check on that first. But you may not need to buy a helmet, but you can check on that on your own. Either way, you'll want to buy at least everything except the undersuit. You shouldn't need one of those. I believe that gives you the same damage reduction, and that'll allow you to carry more magazines. And then we're going to take a mission here, because this is, from what I've seen, the only place I can reliably go kill NPCs in this game. We're going to take a mission, and I've already accepted it, and it's called Trespassers Detected at Kareah. So it's a general mission, which means if someone else claims it before you do, it might disappear. So if it's not there, just leave, wait a couple minutes, join again. Maybe you'll get in a different server, and this should be available. In my experience, though, this is mostly available. So we need to head on over toward Port Kareah. Now, this is not a tutorial on how to travel. I have a video for that down in the description, so I will start this up again when I get there. So here we are pretty close to Kareah already, and before we get there, I'm going to say one word of warning. Kareah is, to my knowledge, one of the only places you can go right now to clear crime stat with crypto hacking, which means there may be other players there, but in my experience, it's usually pretty empty. I'm also just going to show off weapons while we're outside of an armistice zone. So here I am, and this is, in fact, the wrong weapon. Okay, so here I am showing off my correct weapons now that I'm outside of an armistice zone, and number one should be your pistol by default. If you push 2 with everything set up correctly, this should be your ballistic assault rifle or whichever other weapon that you bought. Don't be afraid to buy an SMG, shotgun, sniper, all of those, and give them a try. Unfortunately, there's nowhere to shoot them before you can go outside of an armistice zone. I really hope that they add a gun range inside of these stores so you can try them out before you actually buy them. But for now, you have to buy the ammo, go outside of the armistice zone, and just shoot them. The NPC shooting is a little bit similar to player versus player shooting. The player versus player has a bigger disadvantage or advantage depending on your luck because of netcode or desync or whatever buzzword you want to use for that. It's just lag, basically. The other player is going to be glitching around all over the place, and sometimes they won't be. So sometimes you'll be able to kill the other player really easily, and sometimes you won't. The NPCs, I've really had no major issues with them. They're pretty easy. Just aim for the head. Try not to let them shoot you first, and if they are shooting you, I found it's best to try to hide behind cover, and then you'll push C to activate your medipen. If you are ever confused about controls, come up here to key bindings in the escape menu and then make sure you push on foot. Here you can find C is heal, B is your oxypen, or I guess that's refilling it, but that should be your oxygen with B, and then you get your primary weapons and your gadgets, cycle melee, and stuff like that with 1, 2, 3, and all of that good stuff. And you can use the underbarrel attachment with U. That'll be if you use, or if you bought a red dot sight. For now, I'm sure there will be more attachments as the game gets updated. So we're going to head on over toward Kareah. And this is where the tutorial is really going to slow down. So you can just cycle 3 if you want to see where people are. So this is interesting because there is, in fact, a person here I need to shoot. So we're going to kill this enemy. Okay, so as is the nature with Star Citizen, you never really get the same experience twice. And in this case, I've had 2 Andromedas, as you see in the top right there, that are constantly spawning, and I've killed them both twice, but they just keep coming back. So we're going to pretend they're not there, and we're going to come here to Security Post Kareah, and this place will remind you of Port Kareah. Now, a few times I've done this, there were other ships here, and I thought it was a good idea to blow them up, because they had red triangles, maybe they were player ships, I don't know. I don't see any ships here, so we're just going to land over here. Doesn't really matter, you can't. There's no need to ask for permission to land at this place. And once again, this is not a tutorial on how to fly your ship. I'm assuming you already know how to do that. So the only controls you need to know for shooting with a rifle is 2 pulls it out, and then left click is fire, and right click is aim down sight. So basically, if you've ever played a shooter in your life, you'll feel right at home here. So the medipens are kind of like stim packs from Fallout, and we're going to push C to use them when we take damage, and we're not really going to worry too much about my horrifically awesome parking there, because even if my ship gets blown up, I don't much care. You get 7,000 credits for finishing this, so there's going to be 7 hostiles we have to shoot, and they are going to look like other players and just space people in spacesuits. So like I said, aim for the head, and what I found so far, I'm sure the AI will get better, but what I found so far is that they are pretty stupid, and they take a second before they start shooting you, which really gives you a lot of time to aim at them. So we're going to go a little bit slow. Let's look up here. Oh gosh, there's one. And there's another. Okay. Those guys, I am pretty certain, just spawned right in front of me. That one on the left scared the crap out of me. Okay, there was a guy down there last time. Oh, there's two now. So there is gravity here, which means there is in fact fall damage. I'm checking all the corners so I don't miss any. This is something that is far more fun with friends because it's a little bit harder to get caught off guard when you have more than one person around. You can actually pick up their guns, so if you're out of ammo, don't be afraid to do that. But don't come here without enough ammo. Okay, no one's in there. The rest of them may be on the ground floor. Maybe they're in the security place. Well, there's one there, and then there's one upstairs. So far, I have yet to take any damage. Alright, where did this guy go? There he is. So I think this game has the so-called realistic magazine system, which means that if your magazine is 19 bullets and you reload, if you ever have to go back to that 19 bullet magazine, you're going to have 19 bullets in it. I don't think it repiles all your bullets into one magazine. Okay, there was one guy standing here last time. This last one's always the worst to find, and he usually scares me because he comes out of nowhere, so let's see if he's out here. Had people here last time, I see nobody this time. If you want an experience with the shooter FPS PvP, you should try out Star Marine, which should be included with the game when you download it. If you want to be really careful, you can always ask general chat before you come here if there's other people here, but that might just let someone else know that they can come and grief you, so I found it's best to keep your doings in Star Citizen secret. So that's the terminal that you'll use if you want to clear your crime stat. I have a video on how to do that. That will also be in the description, along with a link to a playlist of all my other Star Citizen tutorials. Keep in mind, though, these tutorials will probably be out of date the week after I upload them. For the most part, stuff stays the same in this game, but they do like to change things pretty drastically from time to time, or add promised features that were given many, many, many years ago. Wow, this one guy does not want to show himself, so he's not on the first floor. I once had one, he was hiding behind a box, and he scared the living heck out of me, because he just popped up out of nowhere. Killed me, and if you actually die here, you'll respawn at Olisar. So make sure you land there, because if you come here from ArcCorp and you don't land at Olisar, if you die, you'll respawn at ArcCorp, and you do have enough time to make it back here and kill that last guy. So just keep that in mind. There he is. And we're done. So, right now the shooter combat is primitive as all heck. I mean, those were some very, very pitiful AI, and they didn't even shoot me once, I don't think. I think maybe that one guy shot me. So we're just going to head on back, and that's going to be pretty much it for the tutorial for space combat, or ground space combat. So the other thing that I'm going to ramble a bit, the tutorial video did end, but I am going to ramble a little bit, it's a lot of fun that you can do the same combat while in 0G, and I can't actually sprint right now for some reason. So if you want, you can go down to a planet and you can shoot other players there. You'll probably get a crime stat for wanton murder, so try to avoid doing that. But if that's what you want, then go right ahead. Some of the stations out here actually are 0G, and there are some derelict ships you can explore in the remains of, and you might, from time to time, run into other players there. And it's a good thing to always carry a gun with you when you're going to be in places that do not have an armistice zone, such as Security Post Kareah. So we're done with that contract. We're gonna head on back to Olisar, refuel. I'm gonna get all my missiles back because I killed a Constellation Andromeda 3 times and it's still coming back. And that's gonna be it for this video of Star Citizen.